Mrs. Queen Amandala, or Amanda Lamb.
Rebecca Rudin.
Xenon Girl of the 21st Century.
Or
Samantha.
And when we're not saving the galaxy, we are
Geeking on Walt Disney World with Curtis and the whole Geekin' family. Woo!
Hey, Disney World geeks! Big thanks to Amanda, Rebecca, Samantha for saving the galaxy and for being listeners of the show. Great supporters of the podcast. And I am Curtis Stone, and I'm the Podfather host of this Geekin' family. Welcome to episode 493 of the Geekin' on Walt Disney World podcast. This week, Heidi Rose shares her Run Disney event experience. Eat to the Beats with Boyz To Men. It's a nice dinner package. She did that a couple times in Epcot, and her tips for Disney World, especially for a Run Disney race weekend. And I've been having fun talking with friends like Heidi, reviewing trips to Disney World for over 8 years. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. Started the podcast with my daughter Lindsay talking about our Disney World trips, and then we brought on you Disney geeks to tell your trip stories. Our listeners are so positive, caring, generous. They have great times in Uber rides like that intro. And they are experienced Disney geeks. You'll get lots of ideas and tips for your next trip to Disney World from their real world experiences and trip reports. And we encourage a family atmosphere here on the podcast. And we'd love for you to join our Geekin' family. We've got an amazing private discussion group in Facebook. Search for Geekin' on WDW Family. Great place to ask your questions, share your trip pictures, have fun with one of the best group of Disney World geeks out there on the internet. And we are independent Disney authorized travel guides with FTC Elite Travel. We'd love to be your travel guides, help you book your room, tickets, dining reservations, have some nice long chats with my wife, Margita. We call her Mama, and her good friend, Auntie Judy. You'll notice many of our guests on the podcast book their trips, or they transfer their trip bookings to the Travel and Tiaras. Yeah, it's really easy to do. If you've already booked your trip, if it's been within the last 30 days, and you'd like to support us voluntarily, you can transfer that over to them. Doesn't cost anything. Helps their little small business, and we appreciate that so much. And you can ask them all kinds of questions. Just email them at travelandtiaras@gmail.com. Check the show notes of the podcast and that app you're listening to the show. Check the website. You'll see our emails. And we'd love for you to reach out to us to book that next trip to Disney World. It's that time of year to book your fun vacations 2023 down to Disney World. I couldn't believe I never had Heidi on the podcast. She's been such a great supporter of the show, coming to our events. I can remember her coming down to the G3 a couple of G3s ago, being all alone. And now she comes with her sisters and friends from Maine. We love seeing those guys. They're awesome. She even has the same name as my sister. My one and only sister's name is Heidi. So glad I got her on the show. She was a part of that lost episode last year that I'm so embarrassed about, but she stayed at All Star Music because this was that Run Disney event that so many people love to do, the Wine Dine. I love the concerts. I enjoyed talking to her about the Boyz To Men concerts. I think she saw 3 different times. She did Coral Reef as part of a dining package, Eat to the Beat dining package, Beer Garden dining package. Love that. Grand Floridian Cafe. She does some food and wine festival eats. She got an Oga's last minute score, Brown Derby Lounge. She just had a great day. I was telling her that's a lot of entertainment in one day, getting Oga, especially for close out the night over at Hollywood Studios. She gives us some drink reviews and gets into the half marathon explanation. And so proud of her for setting this goal. It's not easy, especially if you've got an injury or not feeling well during the year, but she got it done. She also does the fireworks dessert party package over at Magic Kingdom. I love the unique sipper she scored too. We're going to talk about the race expo and all the tips you need to do your next Run Disney event. We just had a bunch of people doing the marathon, just happened I think last weekend. So you're going to hear all kinds of her favorite moments for this trip. And then after the trip report, I've got a big announcement around my trip. I'm going down to the Disney Crush podcast event. I call the Disney Crush World Conference. They call it the TDC 2023. That's happening in the end of April 2023. And I've got an announcement coming up So hang on for that after the trip report. You know, runners and walkers alike love Run Disney events. They are a great motivator for starting a run walk program. Let's get off the couch this year and tag along with Heidi, running and walking in Disney World. I can't believe another longtime listener, good friend of the podcast, and a lot of you guys that listen to the show, I had a special request to do her trip report. So I'm so excited to bring on Heidi Rose.
Hi, geeks.
Hey, Heidi.
Hey,
So good to see you. I've been doing so many of these. I'm like on 490 something. I'm starting to forget who's been on and who hasn't. And I see you all the time on our Zoom calls on Wednesday nights. So you can understand why I wasn't sure.
Well, I'm glad to be on.
And you were on the famous Lost episode.
Yes, the roundtable episode that never saw the light of day.
Oh, we did 6 of them for G3 this past year, which was a lot of fun. And it's so embarrassing when one didn't make it from my memory card to my computer somehow. Sometimes these things take up a lot of space, I got to keep clearing out the memory card to make room. But I'm in good shape now, Heidi. I promise you, I will do my best to get this one out.
All right.
I'm so glad I could do this then. And you did something that's really popular. And like I said, Samantha Kuhn was the one who said, you got to get Heidi on and do her trip report with the Run Disney event, which is such a popular thing down at Disney World, right?
It is, yes. This is my second time doing a Run Disney event. So
fantastic.
It's a great time.
Probably first one since the pandemic.
First one was actually right before the pandemic. It was January of 2020. I had plans on going back in April of that year, but that got canceled.
All right. Well, we're going to get into all of that. So hang in there, gang. Let's talk about what was the dates? I know which Run Disney event you went to, but I'll tell everybody how many nights and the dates and who went on the trip.
So it was the Wine Dine half marathon weekend. And I went down there from November 2nd to the 6th. So that was a Wednesday to Monday of that weekend. And most of the trip was by myself. Amanda Bond did come down and join me for one night and better part of 2 days for the weekend. So.
Shout out to Amanda, another person who's been a longtime listener, supporter of the show, and I haven't had her on, but she's not feeling that great, or else we offered her extended to, I got to definitely get her on. And she did a lot of trips this year. I told her we should have her on and let's do a whole review of the year of her trips.
She'd have a lot to talk about, I think.
I hope she's feeling better and we can have her on too. All right. So where'd you stay?
I stayed at the All-Star Music.
And have you stayed there before?
I have stayed there before, yes.
What's your favorite place to stay down in Disney World?
Oh, I think, I really like Animal Kingdom Lodge. I think that's probably my all-time favorite, but it's a little out of price range for most of my trips. So, I stay at, Pop Century and the All-Stars quite a bit. Coronado is another favorite for a moderate range.
Yeah. Why'd you pick All-Stars over maybe Pop Century?
It was basically just the price for this trip and finding, Run Disney events. It's sometimes hard to find availability.
You probably don't spend a lot of time in the room.
No, not really.
What time you got to get up for a run event?
2 a.m. To get on the bus by 3 a.m. to get over there. Yeah, there's not a lot of sleeping going on.
It's like a nap.
Yes, yeah.
Catch a nap before the races.
Exactly.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah.
They got to get everything done before the rest of the crowds get in there. Is that the way they run those things?
Yes. Yeah. The longer races, sometimes they do, the park opens before they end, but, not too long afterwards. Yeah.
Well, what do you like about the All-Star Music?
I like basically that it's cheap. There's nothing wrong with the All-Stars. I don't think they're clean. They're, reasonably priced. They're very Disney. I like that they only have one bus stop, so you're not spending a lot of time circling the resorts like some of the other resorts.
Good point. And this is a question I've asked often. Did you try to use touring plans, room requests? I haven't even checked in with that in a long time. Is that still available?
It is, yeah. I do usually put in a request through them. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. This time it didn't really work. I ended up in the country music section, which is about as far away as you can possibly get from the main building. But that's okay.
All right. Any nice things about the room to say?
I like the whole Murphy bed that they have there. The rooms have all been renovated, so they have the nice hardwood floors and they're, clean. Being by myself, it's nice to have the extra room with the bed up. And then because Amanda did join me for one night, I was able to put the bed down and she was able to join me for that night.
So that sounds really similar to Pop Century. I really thought that was great too when we stayed there for G3.
Yeah, it's pretty identical to the setup of the Pop Century rooms.
Very convenient. Yeah. Anything to say about the food court there at the All-Star Music?
I mean, it's nothing too special. A couple of nights I was on the bus on the way back to the room after a day in the parks, and I mobile ordered right from the bus and got off the bus and hit the I'm here button and had it ready as I was going through and back to the room.
Oh, that's really convenient. Never heard it put that way, but yeah, like you said, you're hungry, getting back to the room, just get on the mobile and you're good to go. Nice.
Yep, it was a lifesaver for, one of the days after I had been in the park all day and realized that I was starving and hadn't really eaten for a while. So I mobile ordered and just got the kids meal, a chicken nugget kids meal. And those kids meals come with a lot of extra stuff. It came with a yogurt and some, I think a little one of those mini oranges and so a lot of extra things to stick in my refrigerator for the next morning too.
Oh, fantastic. Well, middle of the night, really.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, were a lot of runners staying at the All-Star?
Yeah, I saw a fair amount of them there. Yeah.
They have special buses for those too, don't they?
They do. Yeah. And the bus service for the races and to the expo was great. I never waited. I got there, like I said, 3:00 in the morning, and there was one bus right after another coming to pick people up, and also over to the expo as well. The bus service to the race and the expo, I think, was better than the bus service to the parks for there.
That doesn't really surprise me, I guess. I mean, again, these are so popular. Did you feel like it was well attended?
Oh, very much so. Yes.
I'm not surprised. I'm already getting into the race because I'm excited to hear about that. But you're a big listener of the show. We got to talk about some of your favorite restaurants that stood out for you. So let's go through those. I do have your notes. This is fantastic. So tell me, here's one I haven't heard from a long time, Coral Reef.
Yes, I did. So while I was down there, they had the Eat to the Beat concert series going on.
Oh, yeah.
And they had Boyz To Men, which, they're not one of my favorite bands, but I have seen them a few times live, and I just think they're exceptional to hear them live. So I booked a couple of the Eat to the Beat dining packages. So Coral Reef was one of those. I did that one myself. It was actually the first time I've eaten at a sit-down restaurant by myself. So that was an interesting experience, but the food was nothing really outstanding. It was decent. I can't complain about it, but.
What'd you have there?
I had, it was a prefix price meal. So you got the 3 courses for one price. I had the clam chowder as an appetizer. It was a tilapia or a mahi-mahi. It was some sort of fish entree. And then there was a dessert that was like a chocolate mousse. Okay. Like I said, it wasn't outstanding. I wouldn't say that I would run back to it for any of those options, but it was a decent meal.
And it works out real well for the Eat to the Beat seating, right? Yes,
because then you get the special seating at the front, the first few rows, and you don't have to stand in line. And
that's a popular band, I would think.
Yes, there were a lot of people waiting in the standby lines for them.
I thought so. So how far in advance did you book that? package?
I booked that one. Well, I was actually down in Disney in September, and I was on the plane at the 6 a.m. or whatever time it opens up for that date. So I was planning on doing it right at the 60-day mark, but I didn't get to it until later in the day. So some of the options, I really wanted to do the garden grill, but that was gone by then. So that's why I got Coral Reef, and then Beer Garden. I also did for the same thing later, the next day with Amanda. We did Beer Garden for that Eat to the Beat as well. That's
a good deal.
Yeah.
I think that's well worth it to get. I love the concerts. I've talked
about
that
too.
all the time, right? Did you know that when did you figure out that they were the act that was going to be there while you were there for the race? I had already, well, you have to book the races way ahead of time. Right.
I don't remember exactly when that came out.
They used to sell out fast too, right, Heidi?
Very much, yes. Yeah, you have to be ready and be online and be ready to punch all your information in. And,
Is it still that way?
Was probably 6 to 9 months or so ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then I think the Eat to the Beat, came out a few months before the trip. So it wasn't until a little later that I learned the lineup of the Eat to the Beat performers.
I get kind of like, I'm ready. I'm like, well, I know I'm going that far in advance, and I know the concert series is going to be there. I'm like, I can't wait to see who's going to be there when I'm there.
Yeah.
So you're pretty excited for Boyz To Men, right?
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Beer Garden. I just got a report for Auntie Judy. She really enjoyed it. The buffet is back.
Yeah. And I'm not a big meat eater, so I don't eat a lot of the sausages or anything, but all the potato salads and all the side dishes are all really good. And I enjoy that every time I've done it. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. They try to do anything for vegetarians. I mean, Germany, I don't know. Germany's not known for a vegetarian, at least not in the old country of I
didn't notice any vegetarian entrees. They might have been there, but
okay.
Yeah, I eat chicken and fish and that kind of thing. So there were options for me to eat there.
All right. Yeah. My youngest son, my mother-in-law is right from Germany. He used to love to go over there when he was little. He was always talking about getting the German chicken, which was a chicken that she did it's like breaded, and they do that kind of thing there too. It's like a thin pounded down chicken.
Yep.
Nice seasoned.
Good. Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. Oh yeah. I'm all about Beer Garden. This is one of our favorites. Grand Floridian Cafe, another geekin' favorite, right, Heidi?
Yeah, that one I did. That was kind of a last minute addition. It was my last day before I flew out. I was going over to Magic Kingdom, and I did the walk up list for that. You can't do it. I kept walking the pathway over to Grand Floridian, and you have to keep getting closer and closer before it would tell you. So I was pretty much on the Grand Floridian property before it pulled up and let me join it. But it was only about a 30-minute wait for the walk-up list. So I just explored around the lobby there. The gingerbread house was up, so I got to see that. And it's a nice property to explore when you're waiting.
Wow. So all the Christmas decorations were
beginning of November, and they were already up. Yeah.
It seems to me like Christmas started really early this year. Like the commercials on television, of course, the retailers want to get it rolling as fast as possible. But even Disney World.
Yeah, I was not expecting it. The first day when I got there, when I went to Magic Kingdom as my first park, and the tree right at the beginning, I'm like, what? It's Christmas? What?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, we always say Grand Floridian Cafe is a hidden gem, but you're saying you had a little bit of competition to get in there. Not
really. It just, I had to be on the property before I could see if there was a wait list, if I could get in or not. So it was a little bit of a gamble to walk over there, not knowing if I could get in or not. But
okay. Yeah. It's pretty spacey there. So I'm glad you got in there. Judy was telling me that lobby was just packed because of the gingerbread house. Did you find that early?
No, it wasn't that packed. Okay. The gingerbread house wasn't open to go in and buy things yet. It was up and you could look at it, but it hadn't opened to the public yet to buy the gingerbread.
Gotcha. All right. And Food and Wine was still going on at this point, right?
Yes, it was. Yep.
Any good favorites there to try?
Some of my favorites there were the Mac and Eats, the macaroni and cheese booth. And I tried a couple of them there. And actually my favorite one was the plant-based one, which I would never have known unless someone told me that it was plant-based. It tasted like regular cheese, and it had like it was a chili topping. And I would have thought it was meat, but it was all plant-based, and it had like Frito chips crunched up on top. It was really good.
All the food groups represented. Excellent.
Yes. Yep. Also, I had been wanting to try for several years the warm raclette cheese that they have there at the Alps booth. Every year that I go there, for some reason, it escapes me. So this year I finally got to try it, and it was very good. I'll definitely be making a point to get that again.
We love the wins. Fantastic. Now, favorite lounges or drinks? You got some good ones here. This is one. I'm looking at I think I know this now. At first I was like, I don't remember Jello shots at Oga's.
Yeah, so this was something. So Oga's, first of all, it was another kind of last minute thing that I was shocked that I was able to get in. I went to Fantasmic. Yeah, Fantasmic had just opened up. So I was sitting in Fantasmic waiting for that to start. I was just looking through my Disney Experience app to see, if there was anything for food for afterwards. And I didn't find any dining openings, but Oga's popped up as a reservation at 9:45 or was it 9:30? So it was right around the time of the park closing.
Oh, nice.
And I wasn't sure I was going to get out of Fantasmic in time to get there, but I ran over and I made it. But yeah, the Jello shot, I forget what it's actually called, but it's basically a Jello shot. And I had heard people talking about how good it was, and it has Pop Rocks in it, and it was delicious. I loved it. So that'll be on my list again to get next time I go.
Sounds good. And another geekin' favorite, go over there late to close out the park, right?
Yeah, the park was pretty much empty by the time I got out. It was just a very nice, relaxing walk back to the bus stops afterwards, and all the Christmas decorations were up, and I love that park for Christmas time too. So
you were at Fantasmic, which it's been closed for so long, just opens up, and you're sitting there and you score an Oga's to close out the night. That's a pretty good night there, girl.
It was very good. And I had seen Boyz To Men right before that.
Wow.
I kind of ran across the boardwalk and that path over to Hollywood Studios from Epcot to get to Fantasmic in time. So yeah, it was a busy night.
Some of our acquaintances will say, your working friends, or they'll say, well, why do you go to Disney World all the time? And you just described an amazing day. And you only told me part of it, of all the entertainment you scored in a very short period of time between Boyz To Men. That amazing. I mean, where are you going to see a show like Fantasmic in that big open air theater? And then over to Star Wars Land, to an Oga's Star Wars bar for Jello shots.
Exactly. It was good.
Right?
It was a good night. Yeah.
A lot of entertainment all in that short period of time.
Yes.
Brown Derby lounge flights too.
Yes. So we went to the Brown Derby Lounge. That was after Amanda had joined me on Saturday, and she got the martini flight and I got the margarita flight, and we shared them. So it was the first time I had done either of those flights. I think the martini one I liked a little bit better than the margaritas. Margaritas were a little bit too sweet for me, but it was, 6 different drinks that we shared. So
I think that is the right thing to do at the Brown Derby Lounge.
Yes. Yep.
That's my wife, Judy. We love doing that too. I partook. Sometimes I do a bourbon flight there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'll have to try that sometime.
Known for flights. What is Kat Saka's spiked cold brew?
So that is the spiked coffee drink over in Galaxy's Edge.
Is that the one I had? Remember?
I think so. It has the Cocoa Puffs in it.
Yeah, that's the one Samantha. I didn't realize she was sending me to be the guinea pig. I thought she was recommending it to me because I'd never. That's the one that
she
turned me on
hadn't
to cold brews.
tried it
Huh? She ended up having it though later. Well, remember she had my flatty
down
there. I had 2 of them.
Yep.
On her last trip. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first time I had heard a lot about that one. So I had to try it, and it was very good. I would definitely recommend that one to anyone who likes coffee and likes alcoholic beverages.
Did you taste any alcohol in it? Because I don't think I did.
Not a ton, no.
There's no. Yeah, I couldn't.
It was a very nice, sweet coffee drink.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't taste a lot of alcohol. I could tell it was in there. It was morning when I had that, so.
Well, of course,
right. I hadn't had any other alcoholic beverages yet, so I definitely could tell that there was some in it, but I couldn't really taste it.
Excellent. Yeah. And then let's see, a bourbon Bloody Mary from the Swanky Saucy Swine.
Yeah, that was part of the Food and Wine Festival. The Swanky Saucy Swine is one of the booths. So I had to try the Bloody Mary there. That was very good. It had a piece of candied bacon in it.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, that was a very good Bloody Mary.
Now, is that bourbon in the Bloody Mary or am I?
It is, yes.
It is?
Yep.
What's that like?
It was different. I liked it because I like bourbon, but if you don't like bourbon, it doesn't taste like a regular Bloody Mary. So not everyone is going to like it.
All right. Off the script, because I think this has been the year I've been trying a lot of different bourbons. What's your favorite bourbons? Bourbons?
I like, I don't have a very sophisticated palate for bourbon. I like Maker's Mark and Knob Creek are a couple of my favorite.
Those are 2 of my.
I don't really know. I'm not. Yeah. I don't really know the difference between whiskeys and bourbons and all that. But
it was funny. My dad asked me what he tries to get. I saw him the other day at church, and he said, "I'm going to bring over some stuff for Christmas Eve. Is there something you want for your smoker?" He likes to buy me a nice piece of meat because him and I built the smoker last year. And so I said, I wasn't sure, Dad, but I'll get back to you. And then I said, I called him up and I said, you know what? And if you're looking for something else to go with that piece of meat, I'm thinking of some Maker's Mark.
Yeah. So I like Maker's Mark. That's one of my favorites.
Awesome. All right. Violet Sake.
So the Violet Sake is something that another one of those things that I had always seen. It's one of those very Instagrammable drinks, the bright purple drink over in Japan. And I had never tried it before. So I finally tried that this trip and it was very good. Again, a little bit sweet. I don't tend to like super, super sweet drinks. So it was a little bit sweeter than I like, but it was still very good.
Does Violet make me think it's like grape-ish? I don't know. Is there a flavor, like a fruity flavor to it?
I'm not sure exactly what the flavor in it is. I'd have to look that up, but it's sweet. I don't think it's grape. It's more of a floral, so maybe it is some sort of actual violet. But,
I was thinking edible flower, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a floral flavor, but it is sweet, and it's sake, so it's over in the Japan Pavilion. And it was actually kind of funny. There was this huge line to get it. And one of the people was coming down the stairs from up where one of the quick service places is. And he's like, if you want the Violet Sake, go up the stairs, go over there. They have it there too. It's not on the menu, but there's no line. So I went up there and got it with no line.
Oh, good tip there.
Yeah.
Instead of I can see that being very popular down at the regular sake bar.
Yep.
Fantastic. Good job is it tough were you a little anxious going to some restaurants solo?
Yeah, I mean, I've done like the lounges solo before, but it feels a little bit different to actually go in and sit down at a restaurant by yourself, but I got over it.
Well, at Beer Garden, they sit you with a bunch of other people because there's all.
Well, Amanda was with me for the Beer Garden, so I wasn't solo there.
Yeah.
But for Coral Reef and Grand Floridian, I was solo.
All right. Let's talk about some of these fun things that you did. Now, let's get into the next question is like, what have you done for the first time? And your first thing is the half marathon. So
this was my first live half marathon. So like I said, I had signed up for the Star Wars when they used to do the Star Wars races. I was going to do the half marathon in April of 2020, but that got canceled. So I did go ahead and do it on my own, but it wasn't like a real live race.
Virtual?
It was a virtual race. And then there was another one that same summer, a local one that I did that ended up being virtual. So I had done half marathons before, but never at a live race event. So this was the first time I actually did a half marathon live at a race.
Oh, so you did another race before. It wasn't the half marathon.
Right. Yeah. The ones in January 2020, I did the 5K and the 10K.
Okay. During the marathon weekend.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So you at least had an idea of what to expect and what the routine was, which is kind of important for these, right? It
is. Yeah. It's, you get up super early, like you said, they have to get them done before the parks open. So they're a lot earlier than most other races that you're going to go to. So getting up that early, getting on the bus, and then you kind of stand around and wait forever for it to start, because there's so many people that, they have to start in waves. So they have, and being on the slower side, I'm in one of the last corrals. So that, almost everybody starts before I do. So the first ones start around 5 a.m. I think it starts, and it's almost an hour later before I actually cross the start line to start the race. So
what do you think? Like 20,000 people?
I think for the half marathon, there were, 12,000 I read.
Okay.
Yeah.
What day was that?
That was Sunday.
Sunday. Because I think that's what so I've witnessed one of these. We were there for a G3 3 years ago, if you remember. Mm-hmm. And I went and watched some of our runners, and I experienced exactly what you're saying. I was saying hi to them, but there was plenty of time because there was a lot of people taking off, and we had plenty of time to take pictures and before they finally went. And then where'd you start from?
So we started in the parking lot at Epcot.
Okay. Yeah.
Same place where it ended.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I had to, no, you know what? I think oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. Maybe it was, I want to say it was in Magic Kingdom, because I had to get over to the finish line. I remember I had to travel in a bus or something to get there.
Yeah, some of the races go through Magic Kingdom. Most of them do start and end at the Epcot parking lot, but some of the other, Princess, I'm going to be doing Princess Weekend in February. That one I know goes through Magic Kingdom at one point.
So what were some of the highlights for you running the race?
Just the atmosphere itself is like nothing that you experience. You take all the magic of being in Disney World and add all the, excitement of a race. And it's just, the energy there it's just nothing that you experience anywhere else. It's amazing. Yeah. They have photo ops throughout the race. I stopped for a couple character pictures, but I was a little scared to stop too many places because I didn't want to get swept and not finish. But, I stopped and met Tiana and stopped and met the Country Bears. But there were some other places that you could stop if you wanted to.
I remember you posted in our Facebook group, that was your goal for the race, was not to be swept by the balloon ladies, right?
Exactly. Yes. And I met that goal. I did not get swept.
Do you walk, run it?
I do. Yeah, okay. I do a combination of walk, run intervals, usually about a minute of each before I switch on and off. But it's very difficult when it's that crowded to kind of keep up that pace. You kind of have to go with the flow and, run a little bit longer than you might want to, or walk a little bit longer than you might want to avoid kind of traffic jams. But
that was my take on it. It looks like a lot of people are there for the fun. As much exercise, they're not that competitive. Yeah. Is that the way you take it?
Yeah, you're not going there to get your, personal best time or anything. It's definitely for the fun and for the experience.
Where did you run through? What were some of the scenic
so it started in the parking lot of Epcot, and we ran into Epcot and around World Showcase, then out the International Gateway, down the boardwalk over to Hollywood Studios, ran through Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land, and then out the back over by where Fantasmic is. And then it was a very, very long stretch of highway running before we ended back in Epcot again.
No man's land.
Yeah.
Near the end. Yeah. Nothing, everything boring.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of broke it down as to two separate races. The first part, running through the parks and enjoying all the scenery. And then when I got to the highway part, I turned the music on my headphones, and it was like I was starting a second race at that point.
Yeah, it makes sense. So you were happy with your performance?
I was, yeah. I kind of had a goal set for myself. I didn't quite meet the time goal that I wanted, but like I said, it was, a lot of weaving in and out and around people, and character stops, bathroom stops, all of that adds to the time. So at first I was a little bit disappointed with my time, but after I thought about it, and the whole experience was something that it's not about the time. I realized that.
So you were all alone? Did you not see anybody that you knew?
Well, Amanda was there. She tried to find me at one point. She tried to surprise me, and kind of towards the end when I was heading back into Epcot, she was there, but she missed me and I missed her. Okay. So she then went to the finish line, and she did see me at the finish line. All right. And she had gotten me one of those I'm celebrating buttons that you can get, and it said I'm celebrating my first half marathon. So that was really cool that she did that for me.
Congratulations on your first half marathon.
Yeah, thank you.
That's something to be. I mean, just to put the effort in to do it. It is a lot of great exercise for sure.
It is, yeah. And there was a couple of setbacks in my training. So there were a couple of times that I was not sure if I was going to be able to do it or not. So it was good to actually get there and do it and finish.
Some injuries?
Yeah, well, I had, back in the late spring, I had COVID, and that, I have asthma to begin with, so my lungs didn't really bounce back as well as I would have liked them to. So that set me back with training. And then I had a foot injury later on. So a couple of setbacks, but.
Well, congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
That is a big victory. Yeah. I enjoyed running for a short period. In my younger days, I was quite an athlete. Team sports, and then I challenged myself to run, but I picked up that plantar fasciitis, which still bothers me.
Yeah.
I try to do all my walking, but I understand the injury. That's a great accomplishment. Great job. All right. Well, going from that big high to it's still fun, but still in the category of first time, you did the Nutella waffle.
Yeah, so then Nutella waffle is one of those other things that is always on my must-do list, and I always miss it for some reason. So
another great accomplishment.
Yeah, so I finally got the Nutella waffle, and it was pouring rain. So by the time I found a place to sit down with it, it was soaking wet, but it was still delicious, and I still loved it. So even soaking wet, it was good.
All right, there was everything that we said it was.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah. I know it's funny. You got these things. Must do's. I like to put them on. I make my list too, but they can be challenging for sure.
Yes. I keep a list of food and drinks that I want to try. I keep it on the notes section of my phone, and I'm always kind of adding things and taking things off when I do them. So I've got a running list of must do's.
It's one of my fun things from the podcast, hearing you guys trying out things that other of our geeks talk about. And then enjoying those. Fantastic. All right. What did you splurge on? I see one thing besides the Beat to Eat dining packages.
Oh, I also did the fireworks dessert party over at Magic Kingdom.
Fantastic.
So the show that's there now, the Disney Enchantment. The only time I've seen that twice before, but both times it was kind of from not the best locations. And I had heard that it is probably going to be going away soon. So I figured I wanted to see it from a good location before it went away. So I did splurge on getting the dessert party for that.
The question we always get, is it worth it?
It's worth it for the viewing area. I think the food and the drinks, it's not, I don't think it's worth it for that. If you're going because you want to have, the best food, it's not worth it. They're kind of the little prepackaged desserts. And
yeah.
I mean, it does include the all you can drink, like champagne or wine or beer and that. So I mean, I guess you could make it worth it depending on how much of that you wanted to have. But, it's more about the experience and getting to view it from a good area.
Yeah, I think that question, is it worth it? Depends what kind of person you are. If you pinch every single penny, then maybe it's not worth it. But if you value that experience of being and getting the best seat in the house in a very crowded,
right, without having to fight your way to a good spot, and
right,
yeah, you get a nice area to see it without having to.
Agreed.
Yeah, without having to elbow your way through the crowd. Yeah. I
can say I've asked that question many times, and 100% of the time they said, well, that's my audience. So take it as it were. Now, so the E to the Beat, and you saw Boyz To Men twice. Mm-hmm. Did you see the same song lists both times?
No, I actually saw them 3 times.
All right.
I did them 3 nights in a row. The third time I just saw it from back, like standing, behind the actual show. I just, walked by and stood there.
Right.
But each time I saw it, the first night I did the first show, and then the second show, and the third show. So they did 3 different sets. I believe they did the same set each night for the same showing, because the second night when I saw it for the second show, we were standing in line waiting for the first one to end. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of the same songs that I had heard the previous night. So I think that they do the same 3 sets each night.
You saw each of the 3 sets?
Yes.
Different nights. That's cool. Yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
They were great. Like I said, it's not a band that I'm like a super fan of or anything like that, but, they're very good live. And I would recommend that, if anyone is down there when they're playing, to try to see them. So
they do a lot of cover songs too, I would think.
They did a couple of cover songs. They have enough of their own hits that they can fill the sets with their own. One of the members, I think, had recently learned how to play guitar. Usually they're just singers, but right. He had learned how to play guitar. So he did like a Jimi Hendrix cover.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really good.
That's really learning how to play guitar. Yeah. Wow. That's great. And I bet the audience was really into it.
Oh, very much so. Yep. Yeah.
All the locals turn out, don't they, Heidi, for some of the better, more popular singers and like that. Yeah. Bands. I love that. It's a great time. Let's see if we got any fun stories, Heidi. Any pixie dust?
I wouldn't say necessarily pixie dust moments. But there were some nice moments as far as I wore my medal to the parks the day after the race, and just about every cast member that I saw congratulated me. There was this one lady when I was walking back to my room right after the race. I was wearing the medal. She was a housekeeper on one of the little golf carts, and she stopped her golf cart and got out, and she was looking at my medal, and she didn't speak a whole lot of English, but you could tell she was just really emotional about it, and she kept congratulating me and looking at the medal, and it was just a really nice moment.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound, I hate when I say this, like I was talking with the people, even in the parks, the people working, picking up the trash. They are some of the nicest cast members to talk to and the most helpful.
Yes.
And same thing with the housekeepers.
Yep.
I don't know what the culture is, right? That finds these people that, at least at Disney World. We had a nice housekeeper. We talked with my daughter and I when we were in New York City too, but still, it just seems like she really went out of her way, right? To congratulate you.
Yeah. She was driving the little golf cart, and she stopped the cart and got out and, looked, asked me if she could see the medal, and she was looking at it, and then she kept congratulating me over and over. And she went out of her way.
that's definitely, these are kind of jobs that you can be really grumpy doing.
Right. Yeah.
But it's really fantastic to have fun with every cast member that you interact with. That's great. Yeah. And an unexpected moment, you wrote down the Donald Sipper.
Yes. So I don't know if you've seen, there's a sipper cup that was available during the Halloween party. It was Donald dressed up like a piece of candy corn. And it was something that I just really, really wanted. And back when I was there in September, I was only there for 2 days, but my sister was down there for a little bit longer. So she was there the night before I got there and went to one of the Halloween parties. And I asked her if she could pick it up for me. Well, there were supply chain issues, so they didn't have it then. So I was very surprised because it was after Halloween and it was supposed to only be available during the Halloween party. But I was at Animal Kingdom and it was just sitting there on one of the carts, little soda and popcorn carts outside of the Tree of Life. So I had to get it because I couldn't believe that it was there.
That is brilliant. I just looked it up on eBay just so I could see. Donald is one of the best characters.
I love Donald so much, and I just thought that was so cute.
Where do you drink out of it?
That's actually a funny story too, because I wasn't even thinking about the drink that came in it. So when I went up to the car to order it, they asked me, "What do you want in it?" And I kind of blanked because I wasn't thinking about it. I don't really drink soda all that often. So like the first thing that came to my mind was Diet Coke. So I got a Diet Coke in it, and soda kind of upsets my stomach. So then I had to go to the expo. I was heading to the expo to pick up my race bib, and those sippers are heavy when they're full of soda, so I had to drink it so it wasn't so heavy around my neck. So had a little bit of a stomach ache from it, but it was worth it.
I tell you, these are brilliant by Disney World, and that is super creative. that would get me every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I got the Mickey Mouse from the 50th one. He's a popcorn bucket. I thought he was a sipper too. I found out he was a popcorn bucket. Yeah, I'm a sucker for those. Aren't we all, Heidi?
Yes. Tell you. Yeah. I'm not as big into the popcorn buckets, but that Donald sipper really caught my eye.
That is wicked cute.
Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned the expo. Tell everybody what that is, because that's really popular with the runners, right? To make sure they do that, and it can be really crowded too. I know.
Yeah, so the expo is where you go. It's at the ESPN Wild World of Sports. That's where you go to pick up your race bib. You have to get there at least one day before your race to pick that up. So depending on which race you're doing, the 5K, 10K, half marathon, you have to go at least the day before to pick that up. So there's the area where you pick up your bib and your race shirt. And then there's another area where you can buy like extra merchandise if you want to. And then there's another area where they have like outside vendors that come in, with different kind of race type things, the headbands or shoes or, different types of things that you can buy. The merchandise gets super, super crowded. And this year they started for the first time the virtual queue to get in there. I guess it's to cut down on the resellers that go in and kind of buy up everything and resell it on eBay. But the virtual queue is kind of a pain. You have to do it kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy or Rise of the Resistance, when you had to get up at 7 a.m. and get your virtual queue group. And
wow.
Yeah. So they did the same thing to get in to buy merchandise for the race merchandise. So
that tells you how popular it is.
Yeah. So
one of the questions sometimes I've asked, what was overrated on your trip, and what did you write?
I put the race merchandise, because you go in there and you're thinking that it's going to be all this great stuff because, everyone wants it. But, I didn't really find much of anything that I needed to have.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm kind of particular in the designs. Some things that don't catch my eye, then, except for that Donald sipper that's in the shape of a candy corn.
Yes.
I'm all about that. But I don't know. Yeah. T-shirts. I mean, I could understand wanting to get the T-shirt as a souvenir for sure, right? But you skip that?
No, I did end up getting a T-shirt just to have it.
Commemorate the event, yeah.
Yeah. But I think, Disney knows what they're doing with kind of hyping up the merchandise. They create this, merchandise that you can only get at certain events and everyone wants it. And, you get your virtual queue so you feel like you have to go see what's there. And you don't want to leave without getting something.
I'm with you there. And you had one other nice thing in terms of interacting with cast members over at the Muppets.
Oh, yes, at the Muppets. So the day that I was over at Hollywood Studios, I had on a Kermit t-shirt and I had a Kermit backpack on. So I was standing in the pre-show area waiting for the Muppets show to begin. And a cast member came up to me, saw me kind of looking around at the different stuff, and she started showing me around all the different Easter eggs that there are in the pre-show area, and pointing out there's a big portrait up on the wall of a Muppet, and I never really took notice of it, but she said, that's Jim Henson as a Muppet.
Oh.
And then she was showing me some different things, and she said, if you notice, those toy soldiers aren't wearing any pants. And I'm like, you're right, they're not. How come? And she's like, well, if you remember in the show when they're rushing out to get out there, when they say they only have 2 minutes, some of them are not wearing pants. And so when I went in and looked at the show, I sure enough, some of the toy soldiers are not wearing pants in the show. I had never noticed that before.
I love these little details. That's great. A cast member would share that with. You probably share this with a lot of different guests too, but still, it's great they take that time.
Yeah, she noticed that I was wearing a Kermit shirt, and so I must, she thought that I must be interested. So she took the time out to show me all these different little things. That was, she didn't have to do that, but it was great.
Great job on your notes here. Yeah, do you have any secrets or tips you can share with anyone?
I mean, I don't think I have any big secrets as far as how to tour the parks or anything. I just do things probably the same way the rest of the geeks do. I hit the parks as early as possible and rope drop and do the big rides. And when it starts getting crowded and hot, then I hit the indoor, the shows, the Carousel of Progress and the Tiki Room and those types of things where it's cool and air conditioned and not crowded, and then kind of hit the bigger things in the evenings again.
Did you stay away from the Genie Plus?
Yeah, I didn't really use that. Amanda did buy it for race day. She surprised me and did buy that. So I used it that one day.
Okay.
I've tried it a few times throughout different trips. I haven't really found it to be worth it for me.
Okay.
I just not really the way that I tend to tour the parks.
Just kind of go with the flow.
I do. Yeah. I don't think that there's anything that I really have to ride.
Oh, I see one though. What's something you like to do on every trip?
Oh, Spaceship Earth. For some reason, it's just that, Epcot is my favorite park, and there's just something about Spaceship Earth that just makes me feel like I'm in Disney World, and I have to do it.
My wife is the same way, Heidi.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it's my favorite ride or anything. It's just one that I always have to do.
Yeah. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
What's kind of a routine that you do every trip?
So, when I'm in Epcot, Spaceship Earth, and, around the World Showcase, but as far as a routine, when I first get to the parks or when I first get to Disney World, something that's become a routine for me is kind of stopping off before heading to the parks. You take your luggage to the room and get situated, and then before you head out, I tend to stop off at the pool bar. Just get a drink at the pool bar at whatever resort I'm staying at, and just take a minute to kind of take a deep breath and relax from the hustle and bustle of traveling, flying and then getting to the resort from the airport, and just take a deep breath, have a drink, and slow down and realize that my vacation is starting.
That routine does that for you, right? It just says, All right, This is it. We have begun.
I mean, I always have to, from where I'm traveling from, I tend to take the early morning flights. So I'm up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport. And, it's just go, go, go until I get there. So I feel like I just need to take a minute and slow down and enjoy the moment and know that I'm in my favorite place and I'm on vacation.
It's a great feeling. Where do you fly out of, Logan?
No, most of the time I fly out of Manchester, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
I'm closer to Portland, Maine.
Yeah.
I'm very close to that airport, but I usually travel a little bit extra and go to Manchester because they have direct flights.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long of a drive is that for you?
It's about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's worth it.
Yeah. It's only about 20 minutes for me to get to Portland, but like I said, I think it's worth it to do the little extra drive to have a direct flight.
Direct flight. Who flies out of there?
Southwest.
Okay.
Yep.
I go out of Hartford, so we're not that far away.
Yeah.
Tell me your favorite ride and what's your new favorite?
Oh, so my sentimental favorite is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. How come?
I just love the feeling after you go down over the little drop that's there and it opens up and, you see the sky above you. And it just, from one of my first trips to Disney, I just thought that was amazing technology for the time. I don't know why, but just thinking, I know I'm inside of a building, but it looks like I'm outside. And that amazed me from when I was young. So that's one of my favorite.
Sentimental value there for sure. And drum roll, your favorite ride?
Oh, it's got to be the Guardians of the Galaxy now.
Really?
Yes, I love it.
It's won you over.
It has. It's definitely my favorite roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did it beat up to gain the number one spot?
Well, Pirates, but also, Rise of the Resistance and Tower of Terror are both up there.
So you're putting Guardians above Rise of the Resistance. I just ran into Ken and Judy on my lunch hour. I ran over to get I can say it now, to get a Christmas gift over. And they were having lunch. I was waving at them through the window, sat down, and Ken said that to me. That he's a big fan of Guardians. Well, he said he likes Rise of the Resistance better, I think.
Yeah, I think I like Guardians a little bit better than Rise of the Resistance.
Wow, what did it for you?
Well, I think I'm a roller coaster fan anyway. I love Everest and Rock and Roller Coaster and all of those ones. I think I'm a little bit more of a Marvel fan than I am a Star Wars fan. So I think that piece of it probably won me over a little bit as well.
That's a good explanation.
Yeah.
I know many are loving it. I got to get over it with some boning. My next time. I've only rode it once so far.
Yeah.
That's what I need. Fantastic. Anything go differently than you planned?
I think the race itself was a little different than I had planned. I had already talked a little bit about how crowded it is during the race and how, constantly having to move in and out and around people. I ended up my 13.1 mile half marathon ended up when I looked at my Garmin at the end was over 15 miles. So
zigzagging.
Yeah. So I think for next time I will train for that and train for a little bit longer race than it actually is.
Right. That's wow. I was going to ask how long it was. 15 miles when you get it all done, walking through the resort.
Yes. And by the time I was done that day.
How many steps for that day?
I was going to say, by the time I was done that day, because then I toured Epcot afterwards, went over to Hollywood Studios, then back to Epcot. There was the after party, the half marathon after party that was after the Epcot closed that night. I had 62,000 steps by the end of the day. Yeah.
That deserves a Kermit. Well, that's got to be some kind of record. I have not heard that before. Wow.
Yeah. by the time I was done with the race and went back to my room to shower and change, I already had about 20 miles on my Garmin. So,
wow. I will never match that, Heidi. You got me beat. The runners always get me beat. I'm always proud of my 23,000 steps. 3 times. One of my favorite stories was during G3. We were walking, Glenn Kessler and I, we were at the Riviera walking a couple of our geeks back to their room. I looked at my watch. I was so proud to see how many steps because it was a long, long day. And it said like 300 or something like that because it flipped over at midnight.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've had that happen before too.
Sound like that was almost the day you were having.
Yes.
Well, what's something you would recommend to friends to do down at Disney World?
I would say do a race if you can, even if you don't think that you're a runner, even if you just walk the race. I mean, the experience, the atmosphere, it's just a great experience. If you can do it, I would definitely recommend it.
I think I know they have some great programs on like Couch to
5K. Yeah.
Couch to 5K is what I was thinking of. This would be, if you're a big Disney geek and you got a goal this year coming up to get in shape, planning one of these run events. And again, like Heidi said, plan way in advance which one you want to go to because you got to sign right up for it, right?
Yes. Yeah. You have to know when it opens up and be ready to sign up.
Yeah. I think it's a great motivator.
Yes. For
sure. And it's a good time. And you know what? Get a bunch of us geeking friends. You don't have to go alone like Heidi did. Heidi comes to, I've seen, thanks for being such a great supporter of the podcast, coming to a lot of our events. We saw you up in Albany. Where else? I see you on the Zoom calls and G3s. And so glad you're a part of our community. I was so embarrassed I haven't had you on the podcast before, but there's only 52 weeks in the year. I try my best.
Well, thank you for having me.
We'll leave it with this one last question. Our good friend Wendy Fox, who puts on the Albany Geek Meet was it in the summer? Kind of early summer. I think we did it this past year. But what's that one moment that's going to stay with you from this trip?
I think the moment that is going to stay with me is the feeling that I got crossing the finish line. I wasn't prepared to feel as emotional as I did. And I teared up going across the finish line. And just, that feeling that I made it, something that I had been training for and at times didn't think that I was going to be able to do it, and to just see it all come together and I finally made it. And then all the people that were there cheering, that feeling will stick with me. And it influenced me to book a weekend trip coming up to go down and cheer for people in January for the marathon weekend, even though I'm not running that.
Oh, you know what? Great point. Too. We have one of our guys in the Geekin family who's going to be running marathon weekend for Give Kids the World. Donnie Hebert. He's doing the Dopey Challenge. And so it's on our Facebook, and I think I've got it up on my website too. There's a page there. So if you want to support one of the geeks, and I think there are going to be a bunch of us geeks down there. Do you know if someone's going to be there also, Heidi?
Yeah, Tori Hunt is going to be there. She's also running Dopey. And Natalie.
Oh, yeah.
Is also going to be there. Natalie, I'm blanking on her last name. Boyd, I think.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Natalie Boyd.
Cool. We'll have to put a message out in our group and just make sure we know who's going to be there. I think the runners, what I noticed was they like to see people, but they seem to be a little kind of like want to do their own thing too. There's a little mix there, I noticed.
Yeah. Well, I'm going down. I'm going to get up early in the morning and go watch. And, it's really hard to find people that are running. So I may or may not see them, but I'll be there cheering for them.
You got to make a meeting spot or plan. Yeah. Cause it's very chaotic.
Yeah, it is.
Even more so than trying to meet someone in the parks, I think. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, this has been a fantastic trip report. I'm so glad Samantha reminded me to get a hold of you and have you come on. So thanks so much, Heidi. And again, we'll stay in touch with us, all right?
I will definitely do that. Thank you.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Great job, Heidi. We'll get you back on the show, I hope, a lot sooner than this took you to get on this first time, especially got the Grand Geek Gathering coming up. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, but I got a big shout out and thanks to Crystal over at the DVC Member Services, helping us book the Riviera Tower Studio for one night of my stay. Margita was getting a little anxious. She had seen this room available, I don't think at Christmas time, after she surprised me with a Christmas present of this trip I'm taking down to the TDC, which is the Disney Crush event, the World Conference. It's end of April into May 1st. I'm going to stay May 1st now at the Riviera Studio. Thanks to Crystal, helped us out. I had 8 points and I knew I had to bank those 8 points. We got a message from DVC. And this stay is 12 points. So you can buy, I think she said up to 24 points in a single use year. I needed 4 more extra points and I bought those for like $76. So for $76, I'm staying at the Riviera Tower Studio. And if you know about DVC and the Riviera, that Tower Studio is really small. It's really only built for 2 people. I think it's a pull-out couch or something. But I was really interested for the research, and I'm going to be staying at the Boardwalk Villas anyway, the first nights. I'm going to be there, I think, 6 nights. So I'll be able to hop over. I was asking her, do you think I can get my luggage? Which I'm going to try to pack real light. I'll have a small bag. Get that on the Skyliner early morning, May 1st. Hop over there, check in, leave my bag. Yeah, I'll get my last night there. So I'm excited that we got that. So that is great news.
Yay!
And definitely, if you're going to the TDC 2023, let me know. I'd love to say hi to you. Of course, many of our friends that listen to both our podcasts are attending, so very excited for that. My phone has been going off like constantly. We've got a group going on the Disney Wish in February, and they chat up my phone constantly. Samantha, Rebecca, Amanda, I think they're all 3 of those are going on that cruise too. They just got off the Halcyon cruise. How about that intro? That was fantastic. You know, they've talked about over the couple of episodes where we reviewed 2022 of the Uber rides or some of the best times they had in Disney World. Maybe it's because they do intros for the podcast. Well, you don't have to do an Uber ride to do an intro for the podcast. I'd love to have some from some new people. They're fun to do. Just tell us your name. Just give us a fun Disney World fact or 2 about yourself. Something about the podcast, maybe. And that you go geeking on Walt Disney World with Curtis and the whole Geekin' family. You can email them to me at kurt.stone@geekinonwdw.com. Hey, shout out to Travis Dietrich. Had a birthday this past week. Happy birthday, Travis. Great friend of ours. Great friend of mine and many of you guys who listen to the show. So hope you had a great day. I hope you had a great birthday, Travis. I hope all your dreams come true. Make a wish, and I hope all your dreams come true, Travis. Hey, another shout out for Lawrence Nicholas. He posted in our private Facebook group, just became a member, longtime listener. Yeah, he's in the parks for this past weekend. So Lawrence, thanks for posting in our group. And I encourage all of you that listen to the show to get into our private Facebook group. It's a lot of fun. Lots of great information out there. Fun to track we always have someone in the parks every single week. Hey, a couple of ways you can voluntarily support the podcast. One is by supporting our Patreon. Patreon.com is a website you can go to donate a monthly donation to the podcast. And I appreciate all my Patreon friends who support the podcast. I recorded with Rob Maderi an episode that is just for Patreon. I'm going to put that out, I think this week. I got to get that together. And I recorded with my daughter, Lindsay, talking about our New York City trips, like over the last 18 months and some of our concerts we went to, all the fun that we had. A ton of things that Lindsay came over. We talked for almost 2 hours. So I probably split that up into 2 episodes. So I've got some recordings I'm going to put out there. If you want to listen to some of the live recordings I did last year on my trips, they're out there. There's over 136 bonus podcasts I call the Inner Circle. So become a member of the Inner Circle for Geekin' using patreon.com. I appreciate all of you that do that. And thank you everyone who is reaching out to Judy and Mama at the traveling tiers at gmail.com. They're getting lots of interest now that the new year all those holidays are over and they're looking forward to plan their 2023 trips. They always want me to remind you to thank you for being clients of the Travel and Tiaras. They do have a couple of nice discounts. There's a dining card that they're doing during the summertime. Check that promotion out. They're always limited, so reach out to them if you want to be a part of that. And there's also a 25% discount I talked about last week that are available right now at Disney Release. So if you want to get up to date on those discounts that Disney is doing, definitely reach out to them and give them the time. Tell them who's planning on going, the dates that you need to go, and they will work with you and set it all up for you. And it doesn't cost you any more than booking it by yourself. Or then you can, if you book it by yourself, which a lot of our clients do, you can transfer it to them too, and they appreciate that. And oh, hey, I got a new podcast. It hit iTunes this past week, episode 1 of Dudes in Progress with my good friend Joe Taylor. Many of you know he does a podcast called Simple Joe, and it's all about personal development. We got a 30-day weight challenge going on right now. I'd like to report I'm really excited. I've lost 8 pounds since the beginning of the year, which is awesome. We talk about goals versus values in the first episode. The second episode, which will be coming out this Friday, I think it's the 20th, is about habits. And then we're going to be recording. We were supposed to record yesterday, but Joe had a little mini emergency that got in the way of us recording. I think we're going to record tomorrow. But that episode, our third episode, is going to be the secrets to happiness. So it's a personal development. It's a great time for Joe and I to get together and talk about these things, hold each other accountable, and we'd love to build community there. Look to our Facebook group, just getting it started. If you'd like to get in there, definitely message me. Dudes in Progress is our new podcast that Joe and I are doing. I appreciate you supporting us there. And thanks for going geeking on Walt Disney World with us. We really appreciate you listening and geeking with us every single day. Monday is Martin Luther King Day here in the States. I'm going to have the day off. My birthday is coming up this week. I hope you have a great week this week. We love you, geeks. Have a magical day, and I hope all your dreams come true.